Hi guys, I'm Alofcar El Sahulga and right now I'm a student, first year college student at JHCC Canoto MS Inario campus. So I'm sorry if this is how I look like today because I just woke up and yeah, hopefully I can finish this documentary video. Um, let's start with my life story during the pandemic. Actually guys, the pandemic here in the Philippines, it's not yet already done. Hindi pa nila tinitigil kasi nga ang dami pang mga cases na naitala dito sa Pilipinas. And fortunately, here in our in our municipality, wala namang naitalang bago. You know, it's not easy to be in a modified general community quarantine. However, it is more convenient than is in other places because they are in strict quarantine protocols than here in our municipality. But somehow it's still not comfortable enough, especially when we compare our life before this pandemic happens. It was more comfortable than today, right? We have the freedom to go outside, doing outside activities, especially going to the city, or in fact going to the city nowadays are not that easy, especially for me as a student, especially for me as a teenager. There are strict protocols implemented in such establishments that the minors cannot go inside. If so, we are being limited to our actions, and I guess that's the biggest disadvantage of this pandemic. But somehow also, during the whole days, the whole months, the whole year, it's been more than a year since we are in this pandemic, but somehow it helps us, especially in our family aspect, no, that we are being intact together. We have more time to interact with our families. We have more time with our families in general. And actually, as a student during this pandemic, still the classes started, but however, it's not easy for the teachers and for the students as well to adjust on the new learning modalities we have right now. As actually in our school we have this um blended. For me, sa akin yung pinili ko is blended, but I guess it's modular naman ngayon. I don't know if it's the correct term. Based on what I observe right now, we are in a modular learning modality where the teachers only give us the modules in the internet, through social media platforms. So they can share it in our Gmail and our GC or group chat. In terms for my health, gratefully hindi po ako na-diagnose sa COVID-19. So I'm thankful that my family are safe and we're not diagnosed with the COVID-19 because the community. Well, how I survived the pandemic. How I survived the pandemic? Actually, I'm a person who always abide to the laws. I don't want to go outside. Maybe it's because my advantage. I have also an advantage of that. I am an intrapersonal person. I don't want to go outside. I'm not socially active person. I just want to be in my room, here in my room, in my house. I don't want really to go outside. I can go outside if there's something really important that they wanted me to do, or that I should do, through to the strict implementation. Also, my parents are very strict when it comes to abiding the laws because they are government employees. My father is an LGU employee and my mother is a teacher. So yeah, they always have that mindset that we should not go outside, that we should abide the law for the safety of everyone in the house. Maybe because they have also the salaries for us to support ourselves, especially in our daily basis, in our foods. and our basic necessities. So they are the one who provide that, and actually that's the main reason why we survived during this pandemic. Actually, what day is today? Today is February 4, 2021. So, hopefully, may vaccine na po tayo so that we can go outside, we can mingle with the other people, and our life before will revive as well. Let's continue. Talking about the meaning of life, actually, everyone has its own definition of what is life. But for me, my own definition of life is life composed of sadness and happiness. Life is balanced in general. Life is fair. So everything that we learned, everything that we do, everything that we think of, we thought of, that is life. For me, that is my own definition of life. Life is not just all about maturity, but it's all about how you live in this world, how you find your purpose, why you lived. I guess that is life. That is more than what you think of. More life is not a mere thing. It's more beyond than that. I guess the meaning of life is also depends on how we experience things. Comparing the sources of meaning of Viktor Frankl, so he actually suggested that there are three sources of meaning, which is purposeful work. Number one is purposeful work. Number two is the courage in the face of difficulty, and number three is love. So what is actually the purposeful work? We can find the meaning of life if we have something goal in ourselves, in our life. We have this goal where that we want to achieve in life. I guess that is also one of the sources, and I agree to Viktor Frankl that purposeful work is also one of the sources of meaning of life. It's because if you have your goal to achieve in your life, whenever you have your goal, the process, the experiences that you are into it, while you are achieving it, it's actually life. You have something that you learned. You have all this process are your life. I mean, that is life. It's not just all about happiness, diba? When we achieve something, it's not all about we experience happiness the entire process, but also we sometimes fail. We sometimes, face difficulties. Still, we are aiming to achieve that goal. Next one is the courage. We have this courage in the face of difficulty, and I guess this source of meaning is also relatable or connected to his logotherapy assumptions, which is in number two, and that is the life has meaning under all circumstances, even in miserable one. So I guess that explains that life is not all just about happiness. It's not all about joy, but also life is also in sadness. We can find the meaning of life everywhere. So it talks about resiliency, talks about your passion to achieve such thing. I guess because of this courage, we learn something that is valuable in ourselves, and I guess that lesson, that learning will become your meaning of your own life. Next is love. Love is the most basic, the most common sources of the meaning of life. Where, diba, when we think of we are being loved, or we are loving someone, we call it life. That's life, diba? Because when we relate to our spiritual self, God is love. God is our everything. My own definition, God is everything. And that everything is my life. And that is God. God is love. Again, purposeful work, it talks about your actions towards your goal. This courage in the face of difficulty, it talks about your passion to achieve that goal, and that achievement and that whole process is for your life. It's because you learn something from it, even though you face difficulty, or you face happiness, or you face success to the entire process. And next is love. As what I've said earlier, love is everywhere. When we are being loved, when we are loving someone, we actually seems to be, believe that that is life. Still, I guess I should have to relate it to my personal experiences. Now, number one, he has here the human being. The human being is an entity consisting of the body, the mind, and the spirit. So I also believe, and I also agree to Viktor Frankl's assumptions number one, that our body, our self is composed of our physical body, our mind, and the spiritual self. Our body, the physical body, this is our physical body. And this is the most common. How we think, that is our mind. We have our mind that responsible for our cognitive thinking, diba? Responsible in controlling ourselves. But however, we also have our spiritual self. Spiritual self, which it controls our, decisions in life, which it actually controls and balances our decisions in life, particularly thinking about either our actions is good or bad, or it can make good impact to others or to ourselves, or it can make bad impact to ourselves or to other people. So that is our spiritual self, believing that we have higher being. Life has meaning under all circumstances, even the most miserable one. I actually find the meaning of life when I realize and I learn that during the time when our little brother has died, and that was a devastating moment of our lives, that we lost someone who was very valuable in ourselves, part of our family, and it's hard to move on from that past, but still we are trying to accept things, that everything has a reason. Life is not what we think of. Life is mysterious. We cannot tell when or what will happen to us in the future, in the ahead of us. Will have a will to meaning. Everyone has its own ways to find the meaning of life. Because everyone is unique. Everyone is different to each other. It's actually our choice. Our choice, if we will find the meaning of life. Because if we choose to find the meaning of life, we will do everything for it. We will strive everything to just find the meaning of life, the purpose on why we are here. So everyone has its will to find the meaning of life. Number four is people have the freedom under all circumstances to activate the will to find meaning. So I guess this should also be related or connected to what I said earlier. When we are suffering something, when we are facing trials, challenges in life na devastating kaayo sa atong life, we have our choice to choose whether we can activate our will to find the meaning or not. It's number 5. Number 5 is life has demand quality to which people will respond if decisions are to be meaningful. This is what I said earlier. It's our choice. It's our choice that in our decisions also, if we will find the meaning of life. So if your choice is not, then so be it. Maybe because you are not ready, or maybe because you have something in your mind that you wanted to do and that is not finding life. And it's so be it, because time will come that you will realize how important to find the meaning of life is. Now, life has demand quality, so it's our responsibility, it's our task to find the meaning of life. So definition of life can be your strength, the meaning of life can be your weapon against all this negativity in life, especially depressions, anxiety. The last one is he assumed that everyone is unique. Individual is unique. Everyone is unique because we don't have the same experiences. We are not the same in terms of our thoughts, our judgments to other people, the way how we look like, the way how we act on something, the way how we address on something. We are different. We have different families. We have the same aspects, but how we experience those aspects, how we act on those aspects, it's different. It's really different to each other, and that's how we ourselves makes it unique. Individual are different, especially in our thoughts. Like what we are experiencing right now, we have in a social media platforms where everyone think of this, everyone think of that, and that's the bashing comments, our thoughts about the political systems. It's very different. That's why we ended up having wars, disagreements towards each other. It's because we think differently and we have our own perspectives, we have our own principles in life, and the individual is unique should be the first one that we should overcome, that we should understand, so that we can find the meaning of life. And that's all. Thank you for listening. That's the end of this documentation, and I hope you will find something and you'll learn something from it.